Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This will be the fourth scene of this animation I have been creating. If you've not watched the other tutorials, please look at the previous tutorials I've created, the previous video, to see the other parts of the animation. So in this scene, I want to be creating this part.
Personal needs, expenses, and more. No personal needs, expenses, and more.
Okay, so this animation is pretty simple, but there are some things you need to put in place, some little details that you would find in this animation, and that's what makes it interesting. So without much further ado, let me get in. I will create a new scene. I'll call it scene 4. And I will come over here. I want to pick the colors. So let me just draw a box and just pick the colors. I'll fast forward this side. So I'll pick this color, the color of the background. Okay. And so that one. Let me rename it. Okay, so the background I would make. Let me put a solid rather instead of using the color of the composition. So I'll double click here. I'll get to background, and I will change the color to this. Next thing I want to do is this other parts. This other parts. So I'm going to create. An ellipse around here. Create an ellipse here. Obviously, this is the color of the ellipse. Copy this. Come over here and just paste it. Okay. So we have this. So I'm going to blur this. I'll go to effects. I'll go to fast box blur. I'm using fast box blur, and I'll increase the values. Yeah, this not so much. Yeah, this will be good. I'll duplicate this, and then I'll bring it over here down. Take this up. The next thing would be the light streak. I'll come to my previous animation. I already have a light streak here, which is over here. I'll copy this, I'll bring it here and paste it here. Take it up. So this is the light streak. The light streak will come here. So this time it won't go too much. It will just be somewhere here, right? Let me see. Yes, it didn't go too much, just somewhere here. So I'll drop it here and drop it here. Okay. I'm also going to duplicate it and invert it. But before I do that, let me do the animation on it. So the light streak comes up, and then it has some wiggling. So that's what I'm going to do here. Maybe I will reduce the transparency a little bit. Let me see if I will reduce the transparency. Yes, let me reduce the transparency a little bit. Okay, so position. So as it comes up, it starts wiggling. But I want to make the wiggling be only on the Y direction. Only on the Y direction. So I will do wiggle. I'll make it 1,100. Yes. So it comes up and starts wiggling like this. Okay. Okay. I think this is pretty cool. Let me ease it. Easy. Okay. Let me slow it down when it comes. Yeah. So I don't want you to come. I want you to slow down when it reaches the last point. It comes in like this and starts. Okay. So I'll duplicate this. Remove this. Let me remove this, and then let me take it up. Yes. So while I take it up, I would now invert it. So this one at the top, I will invert it. I'll go to scale. I'll chain it. go to the y-axis, click on minus, that will invert it. So bring it up here. Okay, so at this point now I can move it. So first position, moving the y-axis, come here, also click on my keyframe. So when at this point it will be at the top, it will go over here, and then at this point it comes in. Now I can now go in and put my wheel. The wheel is already there. Okay, the wheel is already there. Okay, let me ease this. I think I will need to slow this down. I also need to slow it down. Yeah, okay, I think I'm okay with that. So the next thing I want to do now is to write my text for personal needs. So come over here, just type for personal needs, which is scapular, for personal needs. Okay, I think my cap lock is on. Over here, I'll just uncheck it. Let me tap again for personal needs. I think it's just this personal should be small letter. I can reduce this and then centralize this. Let me use Sora as the font I've been using for personal needs. Centralize it. Okay, so now we have this. This is the text for personal needs. Let me make it 90. See? Okay, good. So what I would do now is that if you see over here, the thing fades in, it fades in, and then it fades out. So I'm going to be doing exactly that here. So how to do that? I'll come over to my animate. I'll go to animate and I'll click on transparency, opacity I mean, and I'll make the value, put the value to 0. Come over to my range selector, and then I'll work with the offset. So at the first point I'll make it -100. -100, and then the next point I will make it 100. Okay, so you're gonna have something like this, and then come over to my advanced and make it ramp up. So this is what we're gonna have, right? So it fades in. Okay, so having done that, I want to also make it fade out. So I'll come some frames, move some frames, and then duplicate this. What I've done initially, I'll duplicate it, and I'll move this. Let me move it over here. Then I'll make some changes. Let me open this. I'll make some changes to this. The first change I'm going to do is I'm going to go to advanced. So instead of ramp up, I'll make it ramp down. So we'll have something like this. It fades in and then it fades out when it gets to the other parts of the animation. Fades in and then it fades out. Okay, so one more thing I want to do for both of them is that I will come over to this ease high and ease low. I'll make them 50-50. Make it 50-50 here. This also make this 50. That's for I've done it for animate 2. Let me go back to animate 1. That should be in my advanced. I'll make this 50. I also make this 50. Okay, so we have something like this. It fades in and then it fades out. Good. Okay, let me close this. So we're having something like this. Fade in, fade out, fade in, fade out. Okay, so one more thing, again, you'll find out that they have two parts of the text. One part looks as though it is having an outline. So I'll duplicate this, come over here and swap it. So I I want to remove the fill and then having only outline. So the outline shows first, and then before the part that has the fill shows next. So I just move this a little bit. So it appears that the outline shows first, then you now have the text appearing. So you now have something like this. Good. Okay. Good. So another thing I'm going to do before I'm going to duplicate this text, but before I do that, let me bring in this part, this light streak that's swiping past the text. So I'm going to duplicate this light streak. Where is it? Let me see which of them I'm duplicating. Okay, the one beneath it. I'm going to duplicate it, Ctrl D, and then I will bring it up. Let me bring it up. I'm going to rotate it. I'm going to rotate it 90. And then I'm going to remove the keyframes here. Delete the keyframes here. Then let me also delete this mesh. There's a mesh here, deleting it. Make the fast possible. Oh yes, the keyframes. Deleting these keyframes. Yes. So I'm going to scale it. I'm going to scale it in the y-axis. So I'm going to scale it like this. Let me change this. Okay, that should be in the X. That should be in the X axis. I'll scale it down. Yep. So until I have something like this. Good. I think this makes sense. Let me bring back the mesh. The mesh swap. I'm going to bring in the mesh swap. The mesh swap is just so that I can have something that have a surface, the sharp edge, something like this. Okay, so I think I'm okay with that, and we'll start animating it. So it's swipe. To start somewhere around here. At this point, it will be at this place, right? So I put position keyframe here. Let me combine it. I don't want the positions to be scattered, so I'm going to check the separate dimensions. So at this point, it's going to be outside, and at this point, it's going to come in. It's going to come in. Going to come in like this and swipe. So my job now is to make sure that it aligns, right? So at this point it comes in, it reveals it like this. Right? It should go back, it should go out, yeah. So I'm going to ease this. So let's watch again. That was too fast. I think that was too fast. Let me delete a little. Boom. Okay, I think that's cool. Boom. So it comes out like this. Maybe I would delete. Okay. Swipes in. Okay, so I'm going to do one more thing. So remember this part, this one, this is the outline part. So let me duplicate it and just swap it again. So this part I want to show a light. So if you check very well, you see that there's a lighting that swipe passes the text, right? So I'm going to do that right now. So how do I do that? First, I'm going to add a glow effect. I'm going to come to effect. I'll add a glow effect to this text. I will increase the glow radius to something around 56. Let me make some changes. Okay, I think I'm okay with the 56. So having done that, the next thing I will do is that I'm going to create a mask around it. So while it is selected, I'll come over here. I'll create a mask around it. Create a mask around it, and let me increase it up a little. Take this up. Okay, so the feather, I'm going to increase the feather just a little bit. So what I want is that at this point, the mask will move. So at this point from here, it starts moving. So I'm going to move the mask part from here, and then when it gets over here, somewhere around here, the mask must have moved. So I'm going to highlight everything and then push it over here. So we now have something like this. Can you see the lighting moving? It's boom. So you find out that the light swipes with it. Okay, so it's just a matter of adjusting it so that it fits properly. So I'm going to do it again. Boom. Let's see that again one more time. Boom. So I'm going to delay the light a little. Delay it a little. Okay, that was too much. Okay, I think I'm okay with that. So that is so we successfully done the part for the text, for the first text for personal needs. So all I will just have to do now is to duplicate everything, duplicate these three parts, the light streak, and the text. I'll duplicate them. I'll take it up, move everything up, okay, and then move them a bit. So I'll look for the point, at what point this guy is about to move. Yeah, from this point, when it's about changing, it's about to fade down from this point, right? I would start changing it. So I'll come over here, come to the first text. I will change it to expenses. I'll come to the next text. I'll change it to expenses. And then the last text too, also the same thing, expenses. Yeah. So what we'll have is something like this. Yeah. Come in. Let me jump. So we have something like this. So it delays. So I think at this point, yes, I should have it. It should come closer. So I'll bring it closer. Still very far. Bring it closer. Closer. Yeah. Let me see. Let's watch. Boom, boom, boom. Good. So let's watch. It seems this thing came too fast. Or it is delayed, right? So I'll move it closer a little bit. Yes. Okay, so yes, I've gotten that for expenses, for personal need, expenses, and more. So for the more, I'm going to duplicate this again. I'll move it up, and then I'll bring it somewhere around here. Again, the same thing I'm going to do. I would come to the first text. I would just change it to and more. For me. And more. The same thing for the second one, and more. Also the last one, and more. Okay, so let's see if it matches. Okay, I just need to move it forward. Yes, I think at this point. So let's see the animation and more. Yes, personal needs, expenses, and more. Personal needs, expenses, and more. Personal need, expenses, and more. So I think for adding for and more, you might have to remove the. So all I just have to do and more. There's supposed to be coming. Supposed to be an exclamation mark here. Do that for the first one. Do that for the second one. I'll do it for the last one. Okay, and more. Okay. So what I'll do, I'll just have to remove the. Let me expand my animation, make it 4. So I'll remove this fade out. Let me expand this. So I'm going to remove this fade out for this last part. I'll do the same thing for this. Remove the fade out. Also remove the fade out for this and more. So we have this. He can now do a sharp cut to the next scene. So here, let's watch the animation again and see the magic we did. Expenses, and more. Personal needs, expenses, and more. Okay, so yeah, that was how this was achieved. Let me know if you have any questions. I'm ready to answer any questions. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to this YouTube channel to get more videos like this. Like and on notifications for more.